welcome back. Or if this is your first time tuning in or coming across my channel, please make sure you tap the like button, subscribe below, and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to get notified each week about the current market here in Denver. Hey, I'm Doug Sutton, your favorite Denver realtor. I'm a licensed broker here in the state of Colorado. Love making these videos to share with you each week, but I would love even more to help you out with your real estate needs. So if you're thinking about making a move in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to reach out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be happy to help you make a smooth move here in Denver. I get asked this question all the time. Should I buy a home right now? Of course you should buy a home right now. The market's great. Joking. It was a joke. Kidding. No, but really, should you buy a home right now? The market definitely has shifted. We just came out of an insane, recovering, crazy housing appreciation market where you could buy a home in 2020, make 14 house payments, maybe paint a wall, maybe not even paint a wall, and sell it and make 150,000. It was just nuts. People were benefiting from the crazy appreciation that we were experiencing because there were no homes on the market. Interest rates were ridiculously low. It was almost like borrowing free money to go purchase a home. So like, who wouldn't want to buy a home during that time? And you could spend more on the home than the home was worth, and you'd still be okay. Because if you bought it a year and a half ago, the values just kept going up. So it really didn't really matter. So as long as you could afford it each month, it wasn't a bad idea. I mean, you didn't want to go stupid crazy on the offer price and completely way overpay. But, you know, within kind of reason, it made sense for a lot of people. And that's why it kept going and doing what it was doing. Now this year, like in May or June, mid-May, it almost like flipped upside down overnight. I mean, you know, we went from a multiple offer situation on a $700,000 home right around Memorial Day, and then like a week later you started seeing price reductions. It happened overnight. It was crazy, but that's what happened. And I think it's because interest rates, I mean, they've doubled from where they were earlier this year, and so it's got a lot of people freaked out and concerned, and rightfully so. But yeah, a lot of people are sidelined now because they don't, you know, we got so used to seeing the 2 and 3% interest rates, and we'd never seen those before until the pandemic, and we were in that recovering market, and they did that to help fuel the economy and get us through a time that we had never been through. So if you look at interest rates historically, they're okay. I think I remember my folks telling me when they purchased a home back in, maybe 1985 or mid-80s, they were paying like 13 or 18% interest rate, which is just crazy. You can't even imagine what that would look like. But anyways, so like the 5s and 6s, and I think, maybe approaching 7, who knows, with this next Fed meeting. Everyone that got so used to seeing the 2s or 3s are freaked out now with the 5s and 6s, and I get it, I would be too. But we're starting to see a pullback in home values. All the appreciation that we had gotten for the year of 2022, that all happened at the beginning of the year. So homes appreciated from where they were last year to this year. They just didn't do the 18% that we saw up at the beginning of the year. They went up 18%, and then we're seeing a pullback to probably 9 or 10% this year. So a lot of homes that we're seeing come on the market now, these sellers don't have the right expectations, or their agent's not giving them the information that they need to be able to help set the correct price on the home. And so we're seeing a lot of homes starting out really high, and then they're sitting there for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and now they're chasing the market trying to figure out what's the right price. For example, just in this last week alone, on my 7-day calendar here, we've seen 426 price reductions, and there was 457 new listings, like total for the week. For almost every house listed, there was a price reduction. So it just kind of goes to show you, buyers are having more leverage, more negotiating room. You have the luxury of not having to make your mind up when you're walking through the home to see it for the first time, whether you want to write an offer and purchase it or not. You can go back maybe a second, or a third time to really make sure it's the home that you want to live in and you want to be in for the next 5 to 7 years. Because if you're buying the home right now with the mentality of having instant equity and that you can sell this in a year or two and make a bunch of money, hold your horses. This is not the right time for you to be buying a home right now. If you're purchasing a home, you need to be thinking about this as like a long-term investment. You need to think you're going to be there for the next 5 to 7 years. And really, there's only 3 reasons right now why you should even consider buying a home. Number 1 is, what's your urgency? Do you have an urgent need to buy a home? Maybe you're in an apartment and you're expecting twins or triplets and your 1 or 2 bedroom apartment just isn't enough room. That's a pretty urgent need to buy a home. Maybe you're just tired of renting and you want to start building equity, and it makes sense every month to pay that mortgage instead of rent, because rents have gone sky high. I mean, they've gone right up along with home prices as well. Rents, I mean, you could be spending $2,500 a month on a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. You could go get a home for that price and start building your equity and be your own landlord, be your own king of the castle. You don't have to pay someone else's mortgage and help them build equity and wealth. You can start doing that for yourself. So if you have an urgent need, that should be one of the reasons why you should be even consider purchasing a home right now. The second reason is if you have the financial ability to do so. Do you have a good paying job? Do you have your savings in order? Do you have your 3 buckets of savings? I made a video about that. Go check that out. But you don't want to go all in on this home purchase and walk away from the closing table with nothing in the bank, because life throws you curveballs all the time, and you need to be able and ready to weather the storm if something comes your way. You don't want to go all in on purchasing the home and not have anything put away, because chances are you're not going to have instant equity. It's going to take you a few years to start building that up and start seeing that. So don't buy unless you have the financial ability, and don't purchase with equity in mind right now. And the third reason you should consider is using it as a potential, or seeing a potential investment opportunity. Are you looking to pick up a rental or an Airbnb? Or maybe you plan on living in this for a few years and keeping it, and then maybe turning it into a rental. Whatever your situation is, make sure that it's right for you. Look at what you have going on and make a decision that's best for you. Don't call your stepbrother's realtor friend Tom and ask him if you should buy a house, because of course he's going to tell you the market's great, you're going to make lots of money, and yes, go ahead, let's go look at homes, because full disclosure, it's in our best interest as agents for people to buy and sell homes. That's the only way we make money. So do your own research, make up your own mind, and don't rely on other people to help you decide big things in life like this. You gotta grab the bull by the horns and make that decision for yourself, or with your partner, your spouse, or whoever helps you make big decisions in your life. Let's take a look here. Just for example, I got a few different areas pulled up here. I got Denver, Aurora, and Highlands Ranch. Denver, they've seen a almost 20% decrease in new listings in the month of August. Days on market have gone up 13.3%, and they've closed 28% less than they did a year ago. So what does that mean? Things are still happening in Denver, and this is the big picture. This is single families, multifamily, townhomes, condos. This is everything. But there's still people buying and selling in Denver. It's just not happening as often. It's taking longer to happen, and the sellers that want to sell out there and the buyers that want to buy are able to get together and work out a deal. And right now, buyers are having more leverage and more negotiating power. But I can tell you this, if you've been on the market for 3, 4, 5 weeks, you're not getting very many showing notifications. And so when you get that one, you're like, this is going to be the one. What are we going to do to put the deal together? house is going to look great, they're going to be willing to work with you. So if you have a strong one or two, urgent need or financial ability, you can put a deal together, but definitely don't be paying list price. For the first time in years, for example, in Denver, everything was selling at 101.9% over at list price. So that means everything was selling for more than what it was listed for. Right now, that number has dropped. 99.4% of everything is selling below list price. So you can get a deal. You can get concessions. You can get the seller to help pay your closing costs. Heck, maybe you could even go find a grant or some down payment assistance and have some help with your down payment. Get the seller to help pay your closing costs. And as long as that monthly payment makes sense for you, now's a good time to buy. Highlands Ranch, for example, new listings, they're down 17.1%. So not as many homes coming to market this year as there were last year. Closed listings down 17% as well, 16.9. And the days on market in Highlands Ranch is almost tripled. It went from 8 days to 21 days. So what does that mean in Highlands Ranch? That yes, things are still happening. People are buying and selling, but as a buyer, you've taken some of that power back. You've got some negotiating room. You've got some leverage. Don't pay list price. Again, in Highlands Ranch, everything used to sell for 103.1% of list price. And now, for the first time in a long time, that number is below 100. It's at 99. Sellers are reducing the prices. They're reasonable and willing to wheel and deal. So if you're looking at Highlands Ranch, there's some opportunities in there. Look at Aurora, for example. They're down almost 8.5% from where they were last year. Closed listings is also down 24%. And the days on market in Aurora have almost doubled. So what does that mean? You've got more time to go back and look at the home, make sure it's the one for you. And homes are selling for below list price. In Aurora, it used to be 103% closed price to list price ratio. And for the first time in a long time, that's under 100. It's at 99.8. So just below 100, but at least it's not over 100. So if you're looking at Aurora, there's some deals to be had out there too. So just make sure you have a strong, urgent need to buy, and you have the financial ability to purchase right now. You have your savings in order. You're not going all in on the home purchase. See if you can get the seller to help with some closing costs or give you some concessions to maybe buy loan points to lower that interest rate and purchase. If you're going to be making a purchase right now, make sure you're thinking about this as a long-term investment. This isn't a quick 2-year deal. You're in it for a while, and if it's a potential investment opportunity, if you're thinking about buying it and renting it out, you're going to be holding it for a while, because if you lose anything on the front end, but you plan on keeping it for 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, creating that residual monthly income from renting, and then you'll be able to sell it for a profit down the road. That might be your third reason to buy right now, but really the first and second should be the strongest reasons to be even thinking about purchasing a home right now. And if you don't have a strong urgent to buy or financial ability to do so, and maybe it's in your best interest right now to just sit back, see what happens, and when rates come back down, the supply is still the same, or at least there'll maybe be more, and then it'll be a good time for you to jump in and purchase a home. But hey, I'll put some links to some of these charts and graphs in the comments below, or maybe throw some up into the video so you can see them. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe below. Hey, we'll see you next week.